Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist.
Welcome back to Chris Reacts. If you've ever argued with someone and thought, why am I losing brain cells right now? Senator John Kennedy just turned that feeling into a viral political moment. What happened next triggered a full-blown meltdown in Congress. Today, we're reacting to the explosive debate over Ilhan Omar being removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee and why this fight is much bigger than the headlines. If you want straight talk without the spin, hit like, subscribe, and stick around because this story only gets more intense the deeper you look.
There are a lot more important issues in front of the United States Congress and the American people than who tweets what to whom. So let me say it one more time. I thought in the president's original tweet, I thought it was a poor choice of words. I think I know what the president meant, and he clarified later and said, look, if you're not happy in America, leave. Just leave, and I agree with that. But his original articulation of that concept, in my opinion, fell short of the mark. Number two, frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist. But this is America, and they have the right to their opinion. But I don't like to see the president even dignify their point of view. Besides that, I think that the Squad, as they call themselves, they are destroying the Democratic Party. You know, when your opponent is screwing up, don't interrupt him. Let him go. I mean, just looking at this from a political standpoint, if I didn't know better, I would think the members of the Squad were GOP plants. I mean, they think that illegal immigration, socialism, higher taxes, abortion are all moral goods. They think America, Israel, free enterprise are moral bads. That's not what most Americans believe. And that's kind of where I am on the subject. The president has explained his position. He has said, look, here's what I meant. If you're not happy living in America, leave. It's a free country, and I agree with that assessment.
If I am not on this committee for one term, my voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been.
Today's resolution, as it relates to Representative Omar, details 6 statements she made as a sitting member of Congress that under the totality of the circumstances disqualify her from serving on the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Don't tell me this is about consistency. Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers and an entire amount of tropes and also elevated her to some of the highest committee assignments in this body. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology when my life was threatened.
The representative can say whatever the heck she wants, but we don't have to accept it or embrace it. Individuals who hold such hateful views should rightly be barred from that type of committee.
This institution is better because of her leadership, and the Foreign Affairs Committee benefits from her perspective. So let's talk about what's really happening. Republicans are waging a blatantly Islamophobic and racist attack on Congresswoman Omar. And I've said it before, I will say it again. The white supremacy happening is unbelievable. This is despicable.
We're not removing her from other committees. We just do not believe when it comes to foreign affairs, especially the responsibility of that position around the world with the comments that you make. She shouldn't serve there.
The gentlewoman is recognized. On which the ayes...
All right, let's get into this, because this moment says a lot about modern American politics. Senator John Kennedy did not hold back. He called members of the squad fools and said arguing with them only proves there are two fools in the conversation. Brutal? Yes, but it perfectly captures the tone of the debate that followed. The real story here is the House vote removing Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee. Notice what did not happen. She was not removed from Congress, she was not silenced, she was not banned from speaking. She was removed from one specific committee that deals with diplomacy and America's role in the world. That distinction matters. Supporters immediately call this racism and Islamophobia. You saw emotional speeches from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claiming this was about targeting women of color. Meanwhile, Republicans, led by Kevin McCarthy, argued this decision was based on a pattern of controversial statements regarding Israel and foreign policy. This is where the real debate begins. Can someone effectively represent America on the world stage if their public comments repeatedly criticize America's character and allies? That is the question at the center of this firestorm. Republicans point to multiple past statements that were widely condemned and even apologized for. Representative Michael Guest referenced several remarks that he said disqualified her from serving on a committee responsible for international diplomacy. Democrats responded with outrage. Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley framed the move as discrimination and political revenge. Two completely different narratives about the exact same vote. Here is the reality. Freedom of speech exists. Members of Congress can say what they want. But freedom of speech has never meant freedom from consequences. Committees are assignments of trust. They are positions that require confidence from colleagues. And this is where the political divide becomes crystal clear. One side believes criticism of America is patriotism. The other believes leadership roles require a strong belief in America's role as a force for good. This vote was not just about one Congresswoman. It was about what standards we expect from people representing the United States to the rest of the world. Whether you agree with the decision or not, this moment exposed the massive divide in how Americans define accountability, patriotism, and leadership. And judging by the reaction, this debate is far from over. If you want more honest reactions and breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe to Chris Reacts and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big political moment.